know y'all won't admit this because I know how y'all are, but y'all aren't really outraged that the food stamps, the EBT shit is about to get shut down. Y'all are really outraged because now you're going to have to take the money you normally buy weed, wigs, bundles, get your nails done. Y'all are going to have to take those funds and buy food now. And don't say I'm lying, because when y'all were receiving food stamps, you were selling the food stamps. So you weren't worried about feeding your children then. But all of a sudden now, you're outraged. Oh my God, like, why we gonna feed our kids? You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't been worried about them kids and their well-being, but all of a sudden now, you are. Okay. All right.
Thank you. This is what I've been trying to say for like a week now. But when I say it, I get called racist. But folks, there is a difference between racism and the truth. It's not racist to tell the truth, which is all that I do in these videos. Because one thing we're seeing in these videos, we're seeing black women with their eyelashes done, with their nails done, with their hair done. Now look, folks, to get these long acrylic nails that these women are wearing, it costs at least about $100, if not more, often more, just for the fingers. That's not including the pedicure. So you could say they spend a couple of $100, maybe $400 or $500 a month on the nails. And then we're not even going to get into the eyelashes. Sometimes they may buy them from the hair store, put them on themselves. But often they go get their lashes done. That's another $100 at least. And then the hair, the weave, the bundles, and actually getting someone to put it in. It is nothing for a black woman to spend $600, $700, $1,000 on their hair. They do not think twice about it. And look, I'm not here to judge anyone for getting their nails done or their hair done. Take care of yourself, but take care of your kids first. You shouldn't be out here with your hair done, your nails done, your eyelashes done, complaining about food stamps, saying you don't know when your kids were going to eat. You should have thought about feeding your kids before you put the braids in. You should have thought about feeding your kids before you went and got a new full set, right? I feel like that's just common sense. It's priorities. But these people don't understand priorities because they've never paid for food in their life. They've never paid for groceries. Their mama probably did not pay for groceries. Their mama's mama probably did not pay for groceries. They passed this mentality of living and mooching off of taxpayers and the government. They pass it down like a family tradition. And then they wonder why they're always in the position that they're in. Okay? And they never accumulate generational wealth. And then they blame white people for it. Or racism and all of these other things. But just like that woman was saying at the beginning of this video, one thing for certain, these people are going to get their hair, nails done, all of that. And when you really think about it, when were they ever worried or concerned about feeding their kids? If I was in a position where I had to rely on the government or food stamps to feed my kids, I would have had this worry a long time ago. I wouldn't start worrying about how am I going to feed my kids once food stamps were taken away. I would have started worrying about how I'm going to start feeding my kids once I got on food stamps. Because when you're in that position in the first place, obviously you're not able to feed your kids yourself. And I don't want to rely on anyone else. So making moves to feed your own kids, those moves should have already been made long ago. You don't wait until food stamps are taken away to worry about that. This is something that should have been number one priority from day one, before you even got on food stamps, and damn sure after you got on food stamps. Food stamps were never meant to be a permanent thing. Food stamps were supposed to be temporary assistance. Like, oh, you're down bad right now. Maybe you just lost your job. Here's food stamps for a couple of months until you get back on your feet. But you see, these people have changed it from that to, oh, we've been on food stamps. Me, my mama, my grandma, our family been on food stamps since the 60s. There's generations, decades of food stamps. Decades and decades of food stamps. And then they say, well, how are we going to feed our kids? Your grandma, your mom, you, none of you ever came up with the plan to feed your kids yourself? You don't start worrying and trying to figure out how you're going to feed your kids once food stamps gets cut off. You should have been worrying about that from the get-go. But these people don't worry about that. These people do not worry about the things that normal people have to worry about on a daily basis. They don't know what it's like sitting up late wondering how you're going to pay rent. They don't know what it's like to be hungry. They really don't. They don't know what it's like to have to budget at the grocery store. Oh, maybe I'll have to eat this, or I'll have to put this back. I'll have to get the generic version of this. They don't know what it's like because they go and fill up their buggies with whatever they want. Because we bust our ass to pay for their filled carts of groceries while we have to skim by. But I'm glad to see people starting to call these people out. Especially calling them out on the hair and nail tip. Because that is something that is not needed, that these people could just sacrifice for a month or two and easily feed their families, but they refuse to. And now that they're getting called out about it, you'll never believe their reactions. Well, I guess considering who we're dealing with, you probably will believe those reactions. In fact, I have one of those reactions right here for you all. Boy, oh boy, are they upset that we're calling them out over the hair and nails. Now, before I roll this clip, though, people often ask, how can they support the channel? The answer to that question is very simple. You can support the channel for totally free by liking the video, sharing the video, dropping a comment, and subscribing. But you could also take your support one step further and donate via Cash App or Super Thanks. Always greatly appreciated. Now, with that being said, let's roll this clip and then I'll be right back with more.
Lashes done, hair done, nails done, toes done, rent paid, car note paid. Like, I just need my food stamps. That's it. And I'm gonna get it one way or another. Cause y'all taxpayers y'all gotta pay taxes. Y'all gotta pay taxes. Bro, if we didn't need food stamps, the government wouldn't offer it. It's not just me being affected. It's millions of families. It's millions of people. So y'all trying to attack me on the internet, that ain't bothering me.
So she's bragging that her rent is paid. Most likely the rent is paid by taxpayers. She's bragging about her car note being paid, which here's something funny. One thing I've noticed is that these people on government assistance, they often have nice cars. They have apartments that they pay for like what, $8 a month for their apartment. Their groceries are paid for. And they're driving around in nice brand new cars that a lot of us couldn't afford to drive in because we actually have to pay to have a roof over our head, and we actually have to pay for our own groceries. But yet, here she is bragging, hair done, my nails done, lashes done, toes done. The taxpayers gotta pay. The taxpayers gotta pay. That's how entitled these people are. And words cannot describe how much I hate this mentality. And trust me, there's so many things that I wish I could say right now that I can't say on YouTube. Okay? There's a lot of things that I want to say that I simply cannot say on YouTube right now. But boy, oh boy, it's women like her. It's that right there that really sends me through the roof. You know, I'm not someone that was like celebrating that food stamps were getting cut off or anything like that. I've simply been reacting to this crazy reaction that we're seeing from these people. But at this point, I would be so happy if she never got a single dime in food stamps again. Why should anyone like this? And then when you really think about it, it's like your tax dollars aren't going to feed the needy. They're not going to feed the veterans and people who are really struggling. A lot of your money, a lot of our money, it's going to people like her. People like her who are proud that they mooch off the government, that they mooch off of taxpayers. They're proud of it. Hair done, nails done, and what? And what? And I better get my food stamps because I'm going to eat. Like, I halfway hope that these people do try to go loot and they get their shit pushed back. You know, I hope something happens to these people because damn. And there's so many people with that mentality. And what I've been preaching about for so long is that you can't really coexist with people with that mentality. They're very dangerous. And they don't contribute or add anything to society. They only take, they only leech. But, you know, the proper reaction to someone calling you out about your hair and nails is, oh, well, food stamps is getting cut off. I'm not going to get my hair and nails done this month. I'm not going to have these lashes next time you see me because I got to use my money to buy food, make sure everything's taken care of, right? That would be an appropriate response. But you're not going to see an appropriate response from people like this. Because not only have they been mooching and leeching their entire lives, they're ungrateful. And that's the worst part. None of these people are grateful for what they've been given so far. Do you know how grateful I would be if I got to live most of my life without having to pay for anything? If I got to have a roof over my head for free? If I had thousands of dollars in food stamps every month and you didn't have to buy anything? Do you know how grateful I would be? Normal people would be so grateful, but they're not grateful at all. They feel as if it's a given. You're born and automatically white people owe you thousands of dollars for food stamps every month. That's literally what they think in their minds. And the possibility that they may have to not get their nails done and not get their hair done this month so they can buy groceries, they act like that's the end of the world. And instead of having to deal with that, they rather go attack people, kill, and loot. They're going to have their hair and nails done as they go kill, loot, and steal. Hopefully they don't break a nail. But with that being said, I want to hear from you guys down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.